On YouTube, I'm seeing people making videos, clicking on their favorite anime, dubbing voice actor, Japanese voice actor, and so on in Crunchyroll's anime awards with whatever Crunchyroll nominates. Apparently, you can also vote for Best Romance, Best Drama, Best Fantasy, that kind of thing. And lots of YouTubers have filmed themselves clicking on who they're voting for and who they want to win. But there's one important thing that a lot of you guys need to know. It's clickbait. It's clickbait. It's clickbait. Crunchyroll's Anime Awards voting is clickbait. How do I know that? You remember that YouTuber, Otaku Spirit, in my previous 2 videos that I showed?
All the streaming content that's on Funimation's platform has to move to Crunchyroll. And the unfortunate thing that we were seeing that I covered in my last video is a lot of that content, even though they had options for both uncut and cut, meaning censored or uncensored, the censored version were coming over, but not the uncensored version. So it was creating a lot of controversy. It was a lot of fears. This is not just naughty stuff. We're talking violence as well. Violence was getting censored. So you had things like Akudama Drive. They were getting the censored version, so the violence was censored. And yes, technically all the nudity and stuff from things like 7 Mortal Sins and stuff was censored as well. There was no happy ending to that video. I was very upset at the idea and I didn't know why. There was no answers. Obviously Crunchyroll's not answering why they're only moving the censored stuff, and it was creating a lot of controversy.
This is actually a marketing clickbait thing that Crunchyroll does to advertise them. And he knows this because he once had a job that involved daily marketing.
Crunchyroll Anime Awards have begun. The voting process has begun, and everybody is super excited about who will win the Anime of the Year for fall 2021 to summer of 2022, which is the awards of 2023. Makes perfect sense if you're Crunchyroll. But let's be perfectly honest. Beating up on Crunchyroll Anime Awards is way too easy. I can spend all day complaining about what things I feel are wrong with the system itself and the nominations and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, I think most people don't really care. In the end, the Anime Awards have always been a popularity contest. The big anime that have millions and millions and millions of users will win over the show that 20 people watched, like me. But honestly, one thing has been kind of weighing on my heart, and I really do want to bring it to the public's attention. The one thing that I think overall is the biggest stain that I hope one day Crunchyroll will resolve, which honestly, as I get into this, you're probably gonna figure out that no, it's never gonna fix, and it's never gonna go away. I've talked about this a couple times on my live streams, and I kind of wanted to make a video where I kind of hone in on this particular subject and really properly explain it. The Crunchyroll Anime Awards voting process and how much it completely negates a legitimate voting process, all in favor of creating a self-importance of Crunchyroll and the marketing of their brand. Honestly, when the Crunchyroll Anime Awards first began, I felt it was a great thing, a way to celebrate anime, and so I supported it, even becoming a judge for pretty much every single year except for this year, which finally allows me to speak up. Those non-disparaging contracts. But no, the Anime Awards was a great thing. It was very community-based. It was everybody coming together and celebrating and having fun, and Crunchyroll did a great job of it early on. It was giving the fandom a voice, while at the same time making the anime industry a legitimate thing in the West. It was the Grammys of anime, even though that's kind of a joke anymore. However, over time, I realized one key important thing. Crunchyroll doesn't care about the voting process. It doesn't care about your voice being heard. And yes, your vote doesn't matter at all. Crunchyroll matters. Now you might be asking, why do I say that? If you look at the voting process, you'll see exactly why. Daily voting and the recent inclusion of Twitter voting. With the daily voting aspect, it's a marketing play. It's to get users invested in a win. It's basically, and yes, stick with me here, this is a legitimate thing, it's marketing brainwashing. In one of my previous jobs, I used to work alongside marketing people pretty much on a daily basis. And in that time, I learned about how marketing people think. One side of marketing is to get your name out there and people to see it. But that doesn't sell things. Because typically when people see that, They don't need it. The idea is to get it stuck in your head so much that when you finally need it, you'll think of it. Think of one of those commercials that you see on TV and YouTube over and over and over again. It keeps playing every time you watch a television show, every commercial break, or every time you launch a video on YouTube. The jingles they have in there that make you go so nuts you want to throw your remote or throw your phone. But again, one day you finally need something that is included in that commercial and suddenly that jingle pops in your mind. Again, it's technically legal brainwashing, and that's exactly what the marketing people want. That's what they're doing with the daily voting. Every day you go there, you vote. And the next day you go, crap, I gotta go again. And they go and they vote. People even set reminders, alarms, so they remember, oh yeah, it's time to go vote again. They go and they vote because they want their show to win. It's not enough that your vote counts as 15 votes. They want you to come back daily so that it gets stuck in your mind. And thus you get invested. And then once you get invested, you want to tell other people so that you make sure that your time invested isn't for naught. You get your friends involved and everybody jumps there and they start voting as well and they get involved and they do the repetition as well. It's all to create this brand recognition. Crunchyroll's website. I gotta go to Crunchyroll's website. Crunchyroll, they're the anime awards. And at that point, you become an advertiser for Crunchyroll. You're advertising, you're telling your friends to come. What happened with Yuri on Ice? Now granted, I liked Yuri on Ice. It was a fine show. But what happened during the anime wars when Yuri on Ice was involved? You had people going to non-anime groups telling people to come vote for Yuri on Ice because it was culturally important. People had an investment for the subject matter of Yuri on Ice and they wanted it to win. So people were going to non-anime fans and saying, I know you don't watch anime, but go over here and vote for this. And guess what? Now they know what Crunchyroll is. Now they know what anime is. Putting the controversy of that aside, it's not that important. It wasn't that big of a deal, I think, in the end. It was creating brand recognition. But things got worse when they introduced Twitter voting. If this isn't a marketing ploy, I don't know what is. The idea is that you can now go on Twitter and vote daily as well. By tweeting hashtag anime awards and the show that you want to vote for, you then make more votes toward your show. And what does that do? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know what this is doing. It's getting anime awards trending on Twitter daily. It's a give and take that Crunchyroll wins in the end. You get to vote twice daily, and Crunchyroll gets free advertising. Anime awards beyond the first announcement and the first point that the voting process starts isn't important enough to be trending on Twitter daily. But it will now, because they're creating this hype that's fabricated. And the fans that want their show to win is allowing it to happen. Again, Crunchyroll doesn't care about the votes. Crunchyroll doesn't care about registering what you're voting for. They don't care about your voice. The end game is to market their brand because their focus is to see that trending and thus everybody goes, what's anime awards? Oh, Crunchyroll? What's Crunchyroll? Oh, interesting. I guess I'll sub. In the end, Crunchyroll wins. And your vote doesn't matter. And Crunchyroll probably knows that. The big shows that have more viewers is going to win in the end. No matter what, unless the weight towards the judge just pushes it another direction. In the end, your vote doesn't matter. It never has. What matters in the end is that Crunchyroll gets eyeballs. And it should be evident in the idea that everything I just explained, what's the end game? It's not to get your vote. It's to get you to advertise for them. It's sales. It's subscriptions. And in the end, patting their own backs. Yeah. We got 17 million votes last year. Is that 17 million votes by legitimate anime viewers? Is it people telling their friends to enter their email over here so that they can vote for the thing they want to win? Is it people creating multiple email accounts just to vote on a daily basis with 5 different accounts? Does Sony care that you're doing that? No, because in the end, who cares? And like I said, it's a sad thing because now I don't even care. And I don't think anybody should care. During my recent live stream where we were going over the nominations for this year's Crunchyroll Anime Awards, I quickly realized as we went through r/anime and anime trending, the results on those sites were so much more exciting. It wasn't just the popular stuff. It was what the fans actually like. Because they were based on metrics. They're based on the fandom itself. Well, yes, they're not flawless, but at least the results seem like they were shows that most people that I've seen were excited about. Not just a few shows that a writer for Vice seen on their Twitter feed at some point. Vice, a company that was banned from Japan. And that's not to say all the judges are bad. I've said this before. There's a lot of people in the judges list that I respect. But there's always been a problem with Crunchyroll's system. and I don't think it's ever going to fix. And the reason why I say it's never going to fix is because this system they've created was created by their marketing system. And marketing's all about making money. So any idea of fixing something that makes them more money is completely off the table. But just something for you all to think about next time you go to vote for the Crunchyroll Anime Awards.
I'm at a complete loss for words right now around this merge between Funimation and Crunchyroll. From the research I've done, there seems to be 3 issues on the list so far. First, some people are voicing concerns about having only access to the censored version of Funimation's copies, which are being brought to Crunchyroll, instead of the uncensored, uncut versions. Then they find another voice actor to replace Kyle McCarley as Mob in Mob Psycho 100. On top of that, Crunchyroll doesn't want anything to do with SAG-AFTRA union voice actors. They don't want anything to do with union dubs either. And other voice actors like Jun Yoon and Kai Jordan are backing up what Kyle has been saying. Now Crunchyroll is clickbaiting anime viewers into voting for the genre they like or the actors that they want to see win. And since it's daily voting on their Crunchyroll site and Twitter voting, chances are they're just baiting you into marketing them. And now the actors are promoting themselves as well. Are promoting themselves through Crunchyroll, and they are promoting Crunchyroll themselves too. Look, it sucks that I have to be so negative like this, and you know, it's, as an actor, I'm sure it's nice to be nominated into possibly winning an award. But according to Otaku Spirit here, all they care about is just marketing their brands. And people are allowing them to win. The only way to tell Crunchyroll to stop, I've been saying this multiple times, is to cancel your Crunchyroll subscription and send them an email about why you did that. You want them to stop clickbaiting you. You want them to stop clickbaiting their viewers and voice actors who, market themselves through these so-called, quote, nominations, unquote. And the reason why I'm making this video, backing up Otaku Spirit here, is because nobody else is addressing this issue. It doesn't seem like anybody cares about this being clickbait. So who will show concern around this clickbait daily voting? Who else is going to back up what other people have been saying around this? Could this merge between Funimation and Crunchyroll only get even worse? I was really hoping to work for Funimation as an actor one day, since I'm already starting to get into the entertainment business since I filmed a commercial once last year, and now I'm apparently doing a TV show now. But since people are still continuously voting for the anime genres or voice actors that, want them to win, it does seem unlikely that Funimation and Crunchyroll will never split, and Funimation probably never will come back. I mean, is there still going to be hope to possibly bring Funimation back as time goes on? Is it really going to take this long for people to finally wake up and realize that Crunchyroll is taking advantage of the customers, voice actors, and translators? Well, only one way to find out. Somebody's got to back up some of the info that they've gathered based on one source that they saw. So here I am, backing up Otaku Spirit here, telling viewers what's likely going on behind all this anime award voting. But with all these people allowing Crunchyroll to take advantage of them, I don't really know how long it's going to take I don't know if people really will wake up, or at least think about it. And the only way for Crunchyroll and Sony to listen is when they start to lose money, when they start to get boycotted. And more people need to keep voicing all of these 3 concerns that I've talked about so far. And again, the only way to know for sure if there really is still a chance and or hope to stop all this clickbait taking advantage of the customers or maybe bringing Funimation back is to simply wait and see what happens as this merger goes through. Previously, Otaku Spirit did a live stream video that he did with a friend where he talks about how bad these nominations and voting really is. I'll put a link to that in the description if you're curious. Until then, if I'm ever gonna watch anime more, I'd rather keep my Funimation subscription and never get Crunchyroll at all. I don't know how many people are aware of these issues and have decided to boycott Crunchyroll and send them emails telling them about what they don't like about this. But, like I said before, and I'll say again, only one way to find out. Time will tell. But until then, I hope this video gives you something to think about. Please go take a look at those 2 videos I referenced from Otaku Spirit. Please share those videos with some of your friends or family members, anybody who you've marketed Crunchyroll to. Discuss it, think about it, and if it doesn't sound right, it's probably best to boycott Crunchyroll and send them an email voicing your concerns. So until then, I'll see you later in another video.